that is comprised of one religion, and one ethnic group. The beauty of Nigeria, and any country for that matter, lies in her cultural, religious, and regional diversity. Our diversity should be a source of strength, unity, and pride, and not division, weakness, and violence. If religion is anything to go by, we as Muslims and Christians should understand that in the ultimate kingdom of Allah, that is heaven, only the Almighty Allah will decide who enters heaven. Since our ultimate objective as Allah worshipping Muslims and Christians is to be granted eternal bliss in heaven, we must remember that we have no control over who we want to live with in heaven. Therefore, we must accept that in this world, we should tolerate each other, accept our diversity, since it is the same Almighty who created all of us, despite our diversity. For my Muslim brothers, the Almighty Allah has given us a clear guideline as to how we should relate to other religions. And He did not prescribe violence. If you are a good Muslim, I will refer you to Surah Al-Kafirun, where Allah has stated that let the others worship what they believe in, you worship what you believe in. I will not worship what you worship because you will not worship what I worship. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. Any good Muslim should abide by that and desist from violence and criminal behavior in the name of Islam. Your Excellency, the people of the Gambia in particular, and Black Africa in general, look up to all Nigerians to maintain and strengthen the unity, peace, and prosperity of Nigeria as Africa's most populous nation and Black Africa's powerhouse. All Nigerians should understand that a divided Nigeria can only mean catastrophic consequences for the entire black race. Please, preserve the unity and peace of Nigeria, and remember that Nigeria is bigger than any regional, ethnic, or cultural consideration or interest. May the Almighty Allah continue to guide, guard, and bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you for your attention.
Actually, you've had several heads of state and government deliver their statements here. President Jammeh was one of them. What's your take on his statement? He had a standing ovation at the end of the speech.
President Jammeh has always been a Pan-African. He has always been an African leader who believes in the unification of Africa, and he believes in the strength of Africans to lead Africa by themselves. And that is the reason why he got such a wonderful applause and ovation today, because he has always been a great leader, and so it came out naturally, and he was able to convince all of us who gave him that type of ovation. He is a naturally great African leader.
How about the theme of the conference itself, this summit? It talks about human security, peace and development.
It's very, very important, and I would say salient, And I would even extend it to the speech that was given by my own head of state, who is His Excellency Dr. Anes Baikoroma. You saw he also had a standing ovation because he linked it to the importance of Nigeria being stable, for humans in Nigerians to feel secure, because Nigeria is so important to the African nation. Because to the African continent, I'm sorry. Because if Nigeria falls apart, if Nigerians no longer feel secure, it means the entire African continent is at risk.
The president's own words, when Nigeria sneezes, all of us catch cold.
Precisely, because he pointed out that for every 4 Africans that you meet, 1 is a Nigerian. And for every 2 West Africans, 1 is a Nigerian. So if anything happens to Nigerians, it's going to affect everybody in West Africa and the entire African continent. So the theme of the conference is so ideal, it is so important, it is so timely for us to discuss human security at this point in time. It has been my pleasure.
The theme has been very apt. In fact, what was billed as a conference has turned out to be a mega African summit on the theme of human security and development. So I think it's been an excellent day. It's given all the African leaders opportunity to express not only their appreciation for the leading role that Nigeria has played over the years, but also to underscore the importance of peace and security for Africa as we go forward.
Final question, you've heard many heads of state and government deliver their statements here, as you have rightly mentioned. One of them was Gambia's president, Yahya Jammeh. There was a standing ovation. What's your take on his statement?
He shocked everybody. He shocked everybody because he came, gave a speech, a very confident speech, a very African speech, and a speech that inspired both Africans and non-Africans. And at the end of the day, he stole the day. And it was genuine, he was passionate, and it was not scripted. It was a speech he gave from his heart, and that won everybody's heart.
Thank you, sir.
My name is General Vage. I'm a medical doctor.
You're a medical doctor?
Yes.
You've attended the conference. How about the team? Is it befitting?
Why not? Security, very important. Security, very important. Any teams revolving around security, very important. Yes, very important, yes.
You've heard the speeches delivered here.
Yes, everybody's...
Gambia's president, Yahya Jammeh, was one of the speakers.
No. We gave him a... yeah. If it was possible to hit the roof, I would have... I didn't have wings. I would have gone up there to hit the roof. He spoke the mind of everybody on a serious note. He spoke the mind of everybody, and I'm sure he spoke the mind of the world.
Let me ask this question. Yes. In the light of all the problems that are happening now, what's your take on Nigeria's future?
So Nigeria has great hope. Forget about what you are saying. This is what they're doing now. They are just sort of detractions, not attractions. They are detractions. And they are in minority. And I believe very strongly that in a matter of time, they'll be subdued. And God being on our side, this country has great potentials. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, the theme of the conference indeed is not only for this conference, but it's a theme that I believe is for this century. Human security, peace and development.
Leaders have spoken. What's your take on their speeches?
Yes, everybody has spoken. Everybody has said a lot about the potentials for Nigeria to be not only great, but also be continue to lead on the continent. But beyond that, of course, let me make an exception of one of the speeches by your president, President Jammeh. I can assure you it's going to be in all the news tomorrow, and that's why he got a standing ovation. Besides the fact that it was profound, President Jammeh spoke like a Nigerian, not even as a Gambian. And indeed, it's an evidence of the fact that all our African brothers are in tune with us, Nigerians, where we should be and where we are.
President Jammeh also received in audience the former Nigerian president, Olusegun Obasanjo, who paid a courtesy call on him.
Your great country clocks 100 years this year. What is your take on the future of Nigeria?
Last 100 years have been very eventful. We've